What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Austin Waters and Jimmy Lopez, and we are here doing a WrestleMania review of last night's WrestleMania show.
Oh man, what an amazing WrestleMania, don't you think?
I have to agree with you. I mean, it had its highs and it had its lows, but overall, it was a good event.
Honestly, I had high expectations for it, but my predictions were a little off, just a little.
Yeah.
What about you?
I went 6 and 7 in predictions, which means I got 6 matches correctly predicted and 7 matches incorrectly predicted. So I had a losing record.
I was on the record until the very end, but I didn't do so well.
What'd you do?
Don't even remember. Hold on, let me find out. I know. Right, so you went 6-6, like you said.
I went 6-7 by the end of the night.
6-7. Then I went 7-6 then. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely a night full of surprises and memorable moments. I've already got screenshots of like a bunch of things in my phone from the event. But we're gonna start off by talking about. We're gonna start off at the beginning of the card and work our way down to the main event. So we're gonna start off with Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship. No.
I'm going to be completely honest. I did not see the match, but what I'm hearing from is that Neville did a really good job in the match, and he was victorious. And Neville is a really, really good wrestler, in my opinion, honestly. And I could see him getting into many more big fights in the future.
Absolutely. This Neville's been around for quite some time now, and for this to be his first WrestleMania match, just due to unforeseen circumstances in the past, like injury and such. So it was weird to me that it was his first match, but it's fine. And for his first WrestleMania match, he definitely put on one hell of a match. He was all over the place. Don't you agree?
Well, like I said, I haven't watched it.
Well, based on what Neville stuff
yeah.
you've seen before.
Well, yeah, knowing that, man, he flew all over the place. That dude is acrobatic. Is very acrobatic, and yeah, I enjoy watching him wrestle.
So before the match, I think it was Friday. Well, let me back up a little bit. A couple weeks ago, I went to a SmackDown Live event, and I went and I thought, oh, well, Austin Aries got this in the bag. He's the new up-and-comer, and he's going to take the title at WrestleMania. But something maybe Friday clicked in my head that said, now hold on a second. You can always rebuild Austin Aries, but you may not be able to rebuild Neville to the king of the cruiserweights again. So they're going to keep this belt on him for a while, and then when the time is right, he will lose it.
Might I say one thing?
Yes.
That belt looks very, very amazing.
It does.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job designing a new belt. They redesigned a lot of the belts over the past, maybe the past year, ever since last WrestleMania was when they started redesigning a lot of them. They started with the Raw Women's Championship all the way up to last Saturday when they changed all 3 NXT titles.
I noticed that.
Which they didn't do a great job with those, but I'll get into that later.
It didn't look that bad. I mean, here, I could pull it forward.
No, I know what they look like, but, you know. So back on track. The Austin Aries Neville match, I'd give it a solid 3.5 stars. It was a good match. It entertained, and it served its purpose. It served its purpose was to entertain the fans.
You know what the NXT logo reminds me of, actually?
What?
On the belt, it reminds me of Seth Rollins' design logo.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah. Speaking of Seth Rollins, his entrance was amazing.
The entrances were amazing last night for some of the superstars. Some of the superstars not so much, who didn't live up to what we expected of them. But maybe we'll talk about entrances when their matches come up. But for now, let's move it on over to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal match. And man, all I can say was that one hell of a stupid Battle Royal.
It really wasn't bad.
I mean,
But it was predictable.
It wasn't predictable for me.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Because I had Braun, and I was like, oh, Braun's gonna win, no problem. No big deal. I was so sure, and then I should have realized that they usually team up on all the big guys, and then they took Big Show and they took Braun out. So that totally screwed that match over for me. And one of the good moments for at least Jimmy and I was Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski emerging from the crowd.
That was amazing. Gron, you are the GOAT for this. Honestly, I have no words for that. Gronk just got on and freaking tackled his ass.
I think Gronk didn't realize. I don't think Gronk realizes that wrestling is somewhat scripted, because he got in there and he totally went after Jinder. He used all his force to throw Jinder into the turnbuckle, and I think he might have hurt Jinder a little bit, but nonetheless, he had a great showing. It was good because it was a celebrity appearance, but they weren't actually in the Battle Royal. And I gotta say, it was very entertaining.
It really was.
However, Gronk, if I could do without Gronk being there if it meant that Mojo Rawley didn't win the Battle Royal, because I personally am not a Mojo Rawley fan. I don't know about yourself.
No, I'm not as well. But I'm really not that much familiar with with him.
Well, I just don't. I like the Hype Bros, but that's only because my favorite is Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
But
he told me that 100
with
times.
anyone else in the tag team, it'd be better. With Mojo Rawley, I find his in-ring work kind of sloppy-ish. I don't find his mic skills that great. I don't find it, but that's, I think Vince sees something in him, so that's why he won. Because if you had guys in there like Dolph Ziggler, Apollo Crews, Sami Zayn, even Braun Strowman, I guess. I don't really like Braun Strowman, but you know what? He was a clear-cut winner for that. That match was made for Braun Strowman. But they let the final three come down to Mojo Rawley, Jinder Mahal, and Killian Dane. Killian Dane, I like Killian Dane, but not enough. He's new to the scene, so I wouldn't have wanted him winning.
Yeah. I'm going to sound a lot like JBL here. And I don't know whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. But we're going back to the topic of Gronkowski.
Right.
You're there, you bought a ticket, you're an audience. Why are you getting into the ring and taking out a professional wrestler?
Well, it's all scripted. We all know that. Like, obviously, like when Stephen Amell did it back in 2015 with Stardust, it was scripted. Right. I called it from a mile away that Jinder was gonna go do something. I thought he was maybe gonna slap him or something or spit the water in his face, but he threw the water cup. Makes him angry, right? He jumps over the barricade, goes in the ring, does something flashy, blah, blah, blah. Did he have any business being in there? No.
Not at all.
But what are you going to do? It's just how it goes.
Yeah. Well,
So, overall, I give the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't know. I didn't really like it, and I feel like they missed a lot of opportunity. The Gronk thing saved it for me, though, so I'm going to give it 2.5 stars.
2.5, wow. Now 2.5 out of what?
5.
Out of 5, okay. Well, for me, I'd give it about a 1.5. It wasn't really interesting at all. I didn't find it.
I think 2.5 was a little generous, but, whatever.
1.5 is fine. Well, no, I think your 2.5 is fine.
Yeah.
But 1.5 for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have the match that should never have been on the pre-show. My God, why was that on the pre-show? Oh, yeah, because all the Nikki Bella fan pages on Instagram were like, why are the SmackDown women not on the regular show? They're on the pre-show. So I hope you got what you wanted, because they had a 5-minute match, which was a cool-down match before the main event. They didn't get the right time they deserved that they would have gotten on the pre-show. And Dean and Corbin for the Intercontinental title, probably the most prestigious because it's one of the oldest titles in WWE, got moved to the pre-show. So I hope y'all are happy. But nonetheless, we'll get into the match. What do you think of the match?
Pretty much, I think that Dean Ambrose fought well. Dean did amazing. Honestly, seeing him out there was... like I said before, amazing. But like you said, it wasn't pre-show worthy. It really wasn't.
I think it could have been the match itself,
Honestly,
I think they could have put on a better match. It was good, but this is WrestleMania. This is the show of shows. That was
you want something amazing out there.
That was a SmackDown Live or maybe a Backlash, I don't know, SmackDown pay-per-view type of match. That wasn't a WrestleMania match.
To me, it felt like a road to WrestleMania, not an actual SmackDown or Raw.
Right, this is it.
Match.
This is the time to deliver. And there was a couple spots, Baron went up for the end of days and Dean flipped all the way around. I thought that's pretty interesting.
That was interesting, yeah.
There was a couple other spots. But it was okay. I didn't see anything special in that match, so maybe that's why it went down to the pre-show. But I don't think it should have, but it did. So nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, what's done is done.
I myself was rooting for Baron Corbin. You were rooting for Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose.
So Dean Ambrose won. I personally, I'm not going off of bias because of who I was rooting for. I would still give the match maybe a 2.75. It was very lackluster and was not WrestleMania worthy. I don't think it deserved that much.
Well, I'd give it a 2.5 as well. Like you said, it wasn't really WrestleMania worthy. Although the match did seem it could live up to the heights of a WrestleMania worthy match.
Mm-hmm.
To me it felt more like a road on like a WWE live show,
Right.
Or something like that.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't anything interesting. Yeah, but it gave the people what they wanted. They wanted Dean Ambrose. Well,
Gave the fan pages what they wanted. They
the fan
wanted
pages mainly.
the SmackDown women on the main card, and they got it. But it was a terrible match. Actually, the outcome made sense, but I didn't like it. But that's bias. We're moving up to the main card now. We're going to start with Styles versus Shane McMahon, the match that, Commissioner versus Rowdy, clientele or talent. What do you think of the match?
I love Shane McMahon's last move, although it failed.
Oh,
It
was amazing. The shooting star press. You
yes.
can't.
Oh my god.
He's not a high flyer whatsoever, but the fact that he can do a shooting star press at his age, he's got all gray hair. So the fact that he can still do that, honestly, it was pretty impressive, and it added a lot to the match, even though he missed. It doesn't take away from the fact that it was an amazing move.
Oh yeah.
The winner of the match was Styles with a phenomenal forearm. It was, but the match itself, I thought it was okay. I think it could have been better if they added a stipulation like an Extreme Rules match or like a No Holds Barred, but they added No Holds Barred to the end of the show, so that wouldn't really make sense to have it that many times. But I think it could have been better if, Shane did his usual jumping from the table from the ring post to the table, and he did the coast to coast, which is like from one side of the ring to the other. But I think it could have used a little bit more of that Shane McMahon flash.
Well, speaking of the Shane McMahon flash, I honestly was thinking, and I don't know why I was thinking this, but the ring on top of the ring, like...
No, I know what you're talking about. You wanted them to climb up.
I wanted him to climb up, set up AJ Styles on one of the announcer tables, and then jump off like he did back in whatchamacallit. Was it Hell in a Cell when he did?
Yeah.
Shane McMahon was fighting someone else, obviously.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what the set looked like, there was a ring above the ring on the rain cover that they made, and it was just for set decoration. But a lot of people were thinking there's a chance that Shane McMahon climbs up and jumps off, because that's what he's known for. He's known for climbing things and jumping off of things.
That would have been amazing.
I think it would have added a lot.
Yeah. Well, for the intensity of that match, it would have just finished it off. That would have been a memorable WrestleMania match if that would happen.
Absolutely. I give the match, I'd give it 3.5 stars. It was good. I liked it.
Since my favorite wrestler is AJ Styles,
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Well, since my favorite wrestler is AJ Styles, I'm going to give the match a 4. Not only because AJ Styles was my favorite wrestler, the match really did show a lot of potential. they were going at each other. Honestly, one was dropping back and forth. AJ Styles was dominating. Shane McMahon was dominating. I don't know what else to say, man. They showed that a lot of dedication to that match.
I agree. Actually, I agree with a lot of those points. They turned. Some people thought, oh, it's gonna be.
They thought AJ Styles was easily gonna wipe that, but no. Shane McMahon put up a fight.
Yeah, and they thought it was going to be a technical wrestling match because that's the type of wrestler that AJ Styles is, technical. Shane McMahon took it and made it into a brawl, and it was a full-on fight to get revenge for going through the car window, and I liked that.
Mind you, that Shane McMahon only knows how to fight what they taught him. So pretty much he knows, what was it, jiu-jitsu, something like that?
Yeah, martial arts.
Martial arts, that's all he knows. He doesn't know how to do any of those fancy stuff, what wrestlers do nowadays. He doesn't know that. All he does is know street brawl.
His Attitude Era style, I don't think clashes well with the New Era style, but he still made it work, and it mixed somewhat well since they were going for a brawl type of feel to the match.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that wraps up that match. On to the next one.
Let's move on to the United States title match: Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, the two best friends from Monday Night Raw. What do you think of that?
Not how I predicted it. Pretty much how I predicted it. Well, how we both sort of predicted it was, you were going for
Owens, right? I went for Owens, but before the match started, I was having second thoughts. Because the packages and everything were building Chris Jericho to look like this superhero, and like he was going to rise from the ashes and save the day. Which I did know. Sorry to interrupt you, but which I did tell you about yesterday. I texted you and I told you, dude, look, they're making Kevin Owens look like a bad guy right now. Yeah. And they were gonna make us fall for a trap, but you know how the outcome came out. And also the fact that there is, like, I don't know. There's just, I don't know how to even say that, but like, you know, there's there's kind of like this not a stipulation, but like this. It's hard to explain. It's like for the past few years since WrestleMania 29. The loser of the second match on the card goes up to face the world champion at the next pay-per-view. In 2013, it was Ryback. In 2014, it was Kane. In 2015, it was Rollins. In 2016, it was Styles. So, 2017, I predicted Kevin Owens based on the fact that Chris Jericho may be leaving to go on his Fozzy tour. So... that's how I predicted Kevin Owens, but then I was like, well, Chris Jericho can lose the title any day, so it all threw me through a loop. But the match itself, I enjoyed the match a lot. Well, for me, okay, not the outcome I was expecting. Right. I fell for WWE's trap and went with Chris Jericho. I said, right. Y2J's got this in the bag. He's gonna defend his title. He knows what he's doing. And turn of events, no. Yeah, I fell right for WWE's trap like an idiot I was. And yeah, it really messed me up. But what do you think of the match itself, like based on the moves and everything? What do you think? Oh, based on the moves and everything. Well, let's see. I think I'm stuck here with you. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it should have been more of an interesting fight, but I didn't see anything interesting in it. I liked some of the spots on the outside of the ring. Like Kevin Owens did the cannonball when he was on the outside sitting on the apron. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, I'm not trying to point out that it wasn't WrestleMania worthy, but I'm also not trying to point out that it wasn't. Right. I mean, that fight was really good. I enjoyed it. The best friends gone against each other, but still, that match I didn't really see anything interesting in it. I just didn't see anything really in it. I don't know how I liked the finish of the match and I hated the finish of the match because what he did was he did the outside on the apron package, the Papa Powerbomb. But then he just threw him into the ring and got the pin, which I don't think that's realistic. I think most of the time, if you're gonna get the 1, 2, 3, you need to do your finisher in the ring. So it just looked weird. Yeah. But I did like it that they did the power bomb onto the apron. I do like that move, but I just didn't like the way they did it. Yeah, but
things happen.
Yeah.
All right.
So what would you rate the match?
Like I said, wasn't really interested. I'm giving it just straight up 2.
Really? You're giving it a 2?
It wasn't interesting. I understand how they wanted to set up the match. Like I said before, your friends gone against each other. Really good storyline though. I really enjoyed the storyline. How Chris Jericho was his friend, and I guess Kevin Owens just didn't see it that way.
I'm gonna give it a 3.25. I liked the match. I didn't love it. I liked it. It was okay. I liked it. It could have, like, you said it wasn't WrestleMania worthy. It was a good match. I don't know. I'm going to give it a 3.25.
You're still confused on it, yeah.
I'm still confused about the whole thing. But, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Next up was the Raw Women's Championship, I think?
Yes, it was.
Yes. That match was Charlotte versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm going to just start off by saying the entrances were all done really well, except for Nia Jax's was a little bland, but that's kind of her style, you know. Yeah. Well, it wasn't. All right. Well, we'll get
to that.
Yes, it was. Look, right there. That's it. You're so wrong. You're wrong.
I'm sorry.
You're
I'm still
wrong.
thinking about the Kevin Owens match.
Yeah, he's already moved on to the surprise from the next match, but nonetheless, we will stick with this one. The entrances were all a little. They were nice. I liked Charlotte's whole tribute to Ric Flair's entrance in the same arena from when he retired, and so I'm just gonna start off here by saying I thought the match. I looked it up on Wikipedia to see how long it was. It said it was pretty long, but to me, it felt really, really short. It was like one after the other. Boom, boom, boom. They were all eliminated. And I was just like, wait, that was it? What? You know, this is the women's revolution, I guess. Like, you know, if these women are going to main event a WrestleMania one day, way in the future, which seems outrageous right now, but trust me, one day it will happen.
It will happen. Look at Hell in a Cell.
Well, that match was not good, but they're working on it.
But they at least tested it out.
Yeah, they tested it. And also that match had a huge stipulation. The women can't break tables as well because they're not as heavy. So that's why that match didn't go over as well. But I think one day the women will main event a WrestleMania, and it will be definitely something to remember.
Yeah, definitely.
But as for last night's match, there was a couple spots I enjoyed, but also a couple spots I didn't. I liked the triple pin on Nia because that was really the only way the job was going to get done.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good, we're still recording.
Did I interrupt you?
Yes. It's okay.
Just a little bit. So, you're going to cut that out, right?
Yeah, I'll fix that later.
All right. No. Okay. So pretty much, I enjoyed seeing the Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha Banks work together to take out Nia Jax. But Nia Jax was wrecking them.
Yeah.
Nia Jax, she was like a bulldog. Nothing would get past her. She'd easily just push Sasha Banks away from her. Even Charlotte. And Charlotte's a tough diva. She flew.
Nia Jax, I don't believe Nia... Last night was not the right night to put the belt on Nia Jax, but in the next 2 months, she will have that title, and I would put money on it, even though I put money on WrestleMania, and that didn't work out so well. But, nonetheless, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about after Nia got eliminated, there was 3 left, and it did seem like it kind of just flew by, and like... I can't focus. Okay, with you doing that. I can't focus. I'm taking this away from you. You need to stop. And then why am I touching it? So basically, you know, Bayley won. It was a short match. I didn't really like it. What did you think?
Well, it wasn't what I expected. Like I said before, remember?
Yeah.
I texted you. I said,
Yep.
I said pretty much what's gonna happen. Charlotte's gonna just hang out on the side of the ring and let Bayley and Sasha Banks fight it out. what I predicted was that Bailey would
Pin
would,
Sasha and then
would pin no, not Bailey. Sorry, not Bailey. Sasha would somehow, I don't know what I was thinking, pin Bailey, and then
Charlotte would just run in for the natural selection
Yeah.
and then get the 1, 2, 3.
just like back in the old days, as usual. Sasha.
Kind of pulling a CM
failed.
Punk-esque kind of move.
Yep. Oh, CM Punk, how much I missed him.
So I would give the match, I'd give it a 2.75. It felt really rushed, and I wish it wasn't because they could have done a lot.
Even though many people are saying, like you said, wasn't that rushed.
I felt like the entire WrestleMania was rushed, but
Yeah.
I mean the WWE title match only 10 minutes, and it was like the worst match on the card. But
We're gonna get into
yeah, we'll get into that
Yeah.
later. We'll get into that later.
We'll put our opinions on that after. But I'd rate it 3.5 because Bailey deserves to be a defending champion, honestly. Bailey worked very hard to get to where she is right now.
And yet people still call her the underdog. She walked in as champ, she walked out as champ. Done deal. I don't.
That's other people's opinions. It's what we see now. She's making history. Honestly, this woman, she knows what she's doing, and I support her. Honestly, she deserves it. She deserves to be champ, just like Charlotte deserved to be champ when she had her opportunity.
Right.
Think about it that way.
Yep. All right. Time for the match that
Oh!
everyone is talking about. This was the match. Well, actually, yeah, this is the match that everyone was talking
This
about.
was the WrestleMania moment.
This
people.
was. No one was going to be talking about this match. This one was just going to be, it's going to happen. And I was pretty sure. I was so wrong. I thought Enzo and Cass were going to win because they've been building to that, how much they've been like losing, but then they're going to build to be good. And by WrestleMania, they'll be on top of the world. Right? No, because the match was delightfully
Very
interrupted by the returning
New Day.
New Day. What? Hold on a second. The New Day.
That's what we saw.
You've been swerved. Ha ha ha. But who could be the next challenger in the match?
And then all of a sudden, boom! Who came out?
The Hardy Boys. That's everyone. The Hardy Boys. Don't clap into the mic. It's gonna make the audience have ear problems. But the Hardy Boys came back after being away from WWE since 2009.
What are you doing? There's like a button here. I wanted to press it.
Okay, press the button. Anyways, the Hardy Boys came back. They entered the match. They did what they wanted to. They jumped off of stuff, and they won the titles.
I'm not gonna lie. When Jeff Hardy jumped off that huge ladder just to take up, not Sheamus, it was Cesaro.
He almost killed himself. He landed on his neck pretty hard.
Yeah.
Just imagine if he came back, but then like died his first night. That'd be so sad.
Okay. Let's not bring back. Yeah. No.
No.
Anyways.
But happy thoughts because Hardy Boys came back, stole the show, gave everyone something to think about. Bringing back all those WWE fans who quit as soon as Jeff Hardy left because they're like, oh, the show's no fun without Jeff Hardy, blah, blah, blah. Well, now they're back to...
You got your answer from WWE now, people. You can come back and watch an amazing show.
Right.
But one question, actually.
What?
Remember when we saw, this was last year, that apparently Rey Mysterio, quote-unquote, killed a man on ring?
Pero Aguayo Jr., yeah, he did kill him.
Well,
Accidental manslaughter is not killing him, but it kind of is, but it's not. But anyways, go ahead.
was it the same circumstance as was this his first match, or was this
Jeff
was
Hardy?
it just no Rey Mysterio? Was this his first match in that type of I guess you could say brand?
No, it was just an accident.
Okay, so it was just a regular match,
Yeah.
an everyday match, and then accidental. Okay.
He went down to the 619, but then he snapped his neck on the rope.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, very brutal.
But that's a different brand. This is WrestleMania. And what do you think of when the Hardy Boys, when Matt pulled down those titles? What were you thinking?
I was thinking they're not going to do it. Something's going to interrupt them. Something's going to happen. I kept repeating that in my head. But then, no, I saw Matt Hardy pull down both of the titles, and I was happy.
it was definitely one of
The
the
best
best WrestleMania moments in history.
Yep.
Uh,
But I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect them to win it. I thought they'd come back, make a show, okay, make everything look better. But I didn't think they were gonna be champions. I really didn't see it.
I thought they were coming back either tomorrow if they were going to be on, or today. I mean, we're recording this on Monday. Today if they were going to be on Raw, or tomorrow, which is Tuesday, if they were going to be on SmackDown. I didn't think they'd come back on the show, but they did, and man, it was a treat for sure. It was definitely something.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed every moment of it. I savored every moment of it. Can't wait for Monday Night Raw. But speaking of them, where do you think they will be? Mainly Raw or SmackDown?
Well, they're the Raw champions. They're going to be on Raw.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking that maybe what might happen, but we have no way of knowing yet, is
Things
maybe
could
they'll
change.
lose the titles in a couple months.
Things could change.
Broken Matt Hardy will come out, and Jeff and him will feud again. But then during the draft this year, I think they'll get split up. And that'll be that.
I'm sorry.
So I would rate the match. The match itself was a ladder match. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna let the Hardys. I'm gonna give it a 5-star match. It wasn't a 5-star match. I'd give it a 4.
I'm giving it a 4.5. Mainly because it surprised me.
Yeah.
They really surprised me. But yeah.
Yeah.
One really good match. Here we go. We're on to the next match now, which is
Was it Rollins Triple H?
I
I
don't
think.
think it was Rollins and Triple H.
Look it up.
I'll look at it. Meanwhile, Austin will tell you a very good love story.
Well, I'll tell you about the Lunch Money Lewis Pitbull and Flo Rida concert. So that was terrible.
Okay. Anyways, out of that, by love story, I meant John Cena and Nikki Bella
Right.
versus
Right.
The Miz and Maurice. Oh, what a beautiful love story.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
I'm not one that watches Total Divas or Total Bellas like you, so I don't really care for any of that, feud kind of stuff. I gotta say, The Miz is so over with the fans. The fans love him. And I don't know really why. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think they just loved him because he was going against John Cena.
I don't think it was that. I think,
I-
honestly, The
I-
Miz has been putting out some of the best heel work in his entire career over the last few months that he's been on SmackDown Live. I really do.
I'm still on that. So I still have my brain thinking that it's only because John Cena was there. And everyone hates John Cena now because obviously he's been the brand for how many years now?
Yeah, I know.
It's-
People hate him.
People want him gone now.
People chanting
Well,
Cena sucks.
It doesn't
blah, blah,
look. It doesn't look like Cena's gonna have many more years left. It looks like he'll be gone in a couple more.
He'll be around. He's transitioning between acting and wrestling.
Anyways, enough of that. Let's get into the match.
Match. There's nothing really to talk about. It was a short match. It was mixed tags are never great. They're never great because there's very limited amount of things that can happen during that match. So I didn't really like it.
But did you notice when The Miz was dominating John Cena though? The Miz was on top of John Cena, dominating him, even though he ran around trying to draw out John Cena. It was a good strategy.
The Miz had the match in full control. I mean,
Yeah.
basically the entire time. But then Super Cena just delivers the big comeback moves, and then that was it. And it was just weird. It was a weird finish. Just like, okay, we're done.
Unlimited finishers.
And that was Brock and Goldberg, but Cena and Miz,
Sorry.
and then the picture that's been swirling for fan page girls everywhere. Cena proposed to Nikki Bella. Oh my gosh! Wow.
It wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't really much of a good proposal. It's a normal proposal. What else do you?
I thought it was weird that of all places they're at WrestleMania and they didn't have fireworks for the proposal. Wouldn't that have made it a little bit better?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're at a place with fireworks. Do fireworks.
I mean, honestly, I still think it's better than I don't think you remember. I think it was Vicky, like she was getting married or something.
I remember.
The marriage.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that marriage was broken very quickly.
Yeah. So,
Wait, who was she getting married to? Was it Paul Heyman?
Edge,
Oh,
I
Edge.
think. Yeah.
That was Paul Heyman.
No, it was Edge.
No, I think there was one point where Paul Heyman fell in love with AJ Lee.
No.
Or was that just
That
something?
was... What part of the internet are you delving into?
I'm diving into many, many fan theories, I'm guessing then.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. People ignore me.
Yes. So I'll give the match... the match itself, I'd give it a 1.5. It was very not entertaining. I'm not even going to let the proposal bump it up. Alright, fine. The proposal will bump it up to a 2, but that's it.
I'm giving it a 2 as well. Only because I did enjoy their little story before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh, the segments before
Segments,
WrestleMania,
yes.
the Total Bella bullshit.
Yeah.
Those were all good. Those were
That
all
was
good.
hilarious.
Okay, so to move on to, I think now is Seth Rollins versus Triple H in the unsanctioned match. And I've got to say, in match quality, in terms of what happened during the match, this was the best wrestling match of the night. It was the longest on the card. It had the best storyline developing since September. And it was amazing, I think.
I liked it. I did like it. I got my prediction correct on that.
I know,
Even though I had some last minute changes on my previous matches,
Mhm.
I knew for sure I was not going to change it. I had a feeling I knew he was going to win.
Right. Seth Rollins basically beat Triple H on one leg, which is pretty good accomplishment, I guess. It told the whole story of Triple H is evil, and like he's gonna beat up someone who can't even walk, blah blah blah. And
Can I
then
make a little joke here?
yeah,
Seth Rollins played the game.
yeah,
He played the game well.
and he played the game, he beat the game, and he slayed the king.
Yep, he's the Kingslayer now.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I liked the part. I
love the entrance.
the entrances. Oh my god, the best.
I
Those
know-
were the
I
two
know
best
you love the
entrances of the night.
I know you loved the first entrance.
Yeah, the cops one with. Well, okay, I would have liked Triple H's better if it was a motorcycle gang instead of cops, because the sirens and the lights were distracting. But other than that, it was fine. And then Rollins with the torch, and he lit the stage on fire.
Oh,
That was
my God.
amazing.
Yeah.
And
What if you would have if you lit the stage on fire, and what if you would have lit the stage on top as well?
well, those weren't LEDs up there, so that's why I wouldn't have. Yeah.
That would have been nice.
You would have. But I would give that match maybe a 4.25. I really enjoyed the match.
This match to me, well, since I'm a really huge Seth Rollins fan as well, he's one of my top 5. And okay, I respect Triple H. I respect him with all my heart. He's an amazing wrestler, obviously. But Seth Rollins coming out from an injury like that, from surgery, and just saying I want to feature in the main event. Mind you, he had a fever of 102 during WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's amazing. If you can pull something off like that, you really deserve to be on the main event. Well, not main event, but in a featured match on WrestleMania.
What'd you rate it? I missed it.
I rated what's it called? I never said my rating. I rated a 4.5.
Yeah. Just move a little closer.
A 4.5 is
Well,
what I
they
rated.
heard you, but you don't have to. Yeah. Okay.
Just making sure, people.
Yeah. All right. So next match on the card would be the match that I was looking forward to the most, and it definitely disappointed me, which was a huge upset because they built it very well. Was Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
Oh, the Viper.
I mean, you've got your main title. I mean, I guess not, because Brock Lesnar has the Universal title. But I still consider it the main title of your company. And I think they totally messed that match up.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it was a very interesting match, especially when the ring.
I didn't really like that. It was very distracting. The whole point of the match was for the
It was
title.
distracting.
It's like all of a sudden you see like they make lights that have maggots and worms in the ring. It didn't really make any sense. It was kind of dumb and pointless.
Well, they try to make it like you know how
like he was playing mind games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how White's home is a shed, right? A little shed. Yeah. They try to. I mean, what do you imagine in a shed? You're gonna see maggots, or you're gonna see like dirty plates, something like that.
Well, it was a reference to Sister Abigail's grave. There was bugs crawling in it. The match was really, really short. It felt shorter than it was. I read it on WrestleMania or Wikipedia. It was 10 minutes. It felt shorter than that. And after all the mind games, Bray didn't even win. He just lost to Randy Orton.
He lost a simple RKO.
And it felt very let down. And I was disappointed because that match kind of blowed, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, I have a feeling Bray Wyatt's gonna win that title back. There has to be some way that Bray Wyatt wins that title back. I mean, he did get his opportunity. I know that's what you wanted a long time ago. You always said
it's been a long time coming for sure.
Bray Wyatt deserves this title. He really does. He's the next upcoming champion, and just to see the title go away in a very let me not be disrespectful, but a very stupidly way.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that a single RKO took out Bray Wyatt.
I would give the match 1 star. That's it.
The match for me gets it wasn't horrible, but it definitely wasn't the ending I was expecting. I gave it a 2.
All right. Let's move on to Brock versus Goldberg for the Universal title.
Yikes.
Which I made this joke last night on the phone that this was basically, if you've ever played a WWE video game, you can make it so you have unlimited finishers on, which means all you're doing is just basically doing the same move over and over again and making them weak. And that was what this match was. Brock had all unlimited suplexes and unlimited finishers, and Goldberg had unlimited spears and jackhammers, and that was it. That was all they were doing. And that was really kind of stupid to me.
I mean, they can't wrestle. Well, they can wrestle.
Brock can put on a match. He chooses not to by having his own little suplex party. Goldberg, on the other hand, he's old, and his age is finally catching up to him, I think.
One thing I want to point out: Brock did 10 suplexes. 10. Did he surpass the amount of suplexes he did to John Cena?
Nope, that was 16.
Jeez. Imagine if he would have done more. Oh
Yeah.
my God. The people would have gone crazy.
People were going crazy for 10 just because of Ty Dillinger.
Oh my God.
Which is actually really fun at live, recorded shows. If you go in person, when the ref's counting, people go 10, 10, even if the number that he's saying isn't 10. And then when he does say 10, everyone flips shit. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, the screen went black. The match was only 5 minutes long, which was still longer than their time at Survivor Series and their time in the Rumble put together. So I would just give it, for stars, I would give it a 1. I'll give it a 1.75 because I was more entertained than Randy and Bray, which is really sad considering I like Bray a lot. So I'll give it that.
Okay, so what I'll give the match, I'll give it a 2.1. Is that good enough? 2.1?
I guess.
2.1. All right. Only because I did not like the finishers after finishers after finishers. Although I did like when Goldberg put what's his name? I'm forgetting things now. Why am I thinking Bray Wyatt?
Brock
Lesnar. Thank you. Why was I thinking Bray Wyatt? Wow.
I don't know.
Through the barricades, and that was actually pretty funny.
It was.
But yeah, the match was a good end for Goldberg. I'm pretty sure he won't be wrestling after that. And that's it.
He might have one more in the tank, but maybe not. I'm hopeful that Brock will stick around with the title and not just go back to Minnesota and just do nothing. With the title, because it's really stupid to have your main title not on the show every week. So I hope that's in our future, but we will see. So we'll move on to I'd call it the cool down match between the SmackDown women. This was A very, very bad match. That's all I really have to say. It was short. What?
It was a very bad match for you.
Why? Do you like it? And I'm not talking about views. I'm talking about... Because, yes,
general.
all the women are very attractive, but in the match sense, I guess.
Okay, sorry about that.
Mhm.
Anyways, back on track. Not the outcome I was expecting. I think everyone in the world can agree with me. They weren't expecting that. I thought she was gonna retain, but apparently no.
It made sense that Naomi won it back in her hometown, and it just wasn't what I wanted to see. I wanted Bliss to retain.
Yeah, I wanted that too, but well, can't always get what you want, huh, people?
It was a cool down match anyways. It didn't really matter that much before the main event.
It was good filler,
Yeah. I'll give it 1.5.
but it could have been longer. It could have had more emotion into it. They could have added more emotion into it.
Yeah.
But hey, people, to the past. Can't do anything now.
I'd give it a 1.5 stars.
Yeah, I'd give it a. You're gonna be surprised, 0.5. I didn't like it at all.
I've seen lower for that match. I'll be honest. I've been looking at reviews and stuff. I've seen lower.
Oh, that match was not good.
Yeah. So it's time for the main event, the match that brought grown men to tears, I would say. You've got a childhood icon, a legend, an immortal god of wrestling, The Undertaker, versus the crowd's least favorite, Vince's golden boy, Roman Reigns.
You know, WWE just adds way too much freaking things on Roman Reigns. They try to back him up on everything, I swear. On everything.
He loses his title opportunity, let's just make him number 30 in the Royal Rumble that he wasn't supposed to be in the first place, and then have him make it to Final 2. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. Like, you've got, I get it. You like Roman, whatever. You're pushing him to the stars, though. He doesn't...
He's not getting the good storyline he deserves to have.
And there's so many other guys that can do... That can, like...
Okay, Roman Reigns was good only in 2015 to not even 2016. In 2015, that's when he was more iconic. We were like, oh, okay, this guy's doing good.
People still hated him, though.
Yeah, but there wasn't as many people as they have. There wasn't as many people that hated him back then as of now.
Yeah, I know.
Now a lot of people hate him.
A lot.
That whole match, I heard boo every time he hit the Undertaker.
And I've got to say, I feel really bad for The Undertaker because, like, that was just a beatdown, a mauling, a brutal.
Tragic.
Definitely. Yeah, it was very sad to watch one of, like, the best wrestlers in history just lose like that.
Indeed. Is there a way to pause this?
No. We'll finish. We're on the last match.
Yeah, sorry.
So we'll finish it up right now. So we saw what supposedly is The Undertaker's last match, as when he lost to Roman Reigns, he set all his gear down in the middle of the ring and left, which could possibly be for good.
I'm gonna be serious. That sort of made me cry. It made me think back of the old matches that he used to face. He's faced almost everyone on the old roster and the new one.
Yeah.
He's faced the greatest Stone Cold. He's faced Batista. He's faced Randy. He's faced John Cena. He's faced Jeff Hardy.
He's done it all.
He's faced everyone.
He's done it all.
I mean, look at his record, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus. But
everything good must come to an end, and sadly it did last night, supposedly. The match itself, I would give it 1 star. It was a nonstop. In The Undertaker's last match, he should have gone out with a hurrah, but it was a nonstop beatdown on The Undertaker for his last match. And I get it, he's old, but really, it's just absolutely terrible. So I'll give it a 1 star.
I'm gonna give that match a 2.5 because, preferably for me, it wasn't the way to go out for The Undertaker. I thought he'd be victorious, then he'd say, possibly the next day, here, it's time for me to retire, or maybe even at that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe even at WrestleMania, like he did yesterday, he would have announced, I'm retiring, that this was my final match, And yeah, it just didn't happen. It happened a completely awkward, in my opinion, and sad way. Was not expecting his last match to be against Roman, supposedly.
And for him to like lose at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
So what'd you give it? 2.5?
2.5.
All right, so that is WrestleMania. This was
Hosted
definitely a
by the
long
New Day.
podcast, hosted by the New Day, which I could not explain to my mom. She's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "I don't even know how to tell you what that is. It's just them. So just leave it."
She just stared at your TV. What are these guys doing with a box of booty holes?
Box of bootios. They were on an ice cream cart with like a duck on it. That didn't make any sense.
It was a reference to Final Fantasy,
Yeah,
the Chocos.
yeah.
But
So we've gone way past how long I wanted this to be, but it's okay because we talked about a lot and we went very in detail. So I'll be very happy to post this on my channel. So thank you all for tuning in. If you all stuck around to the end, and I'm Austin,
I am Jimmy.
and we'll see you all.